Good afternoon to one and all. Today's class is about oxygenation. First, introduce myself. Gayatri, lecturer in nursing, working in Lakshmana College of Nursing. First, first, we see about the introduction of oxygenation. Air, water, and food are the three essentials of life. In between, oxygen is the most important component of life. It is also vital to all existence, and oxygen is given where there is interference with normal oxygenation of body tissues. Mainly, it is useful for a process that includes both inspiratory and expiratory activities. Hence, there occurs extended transport of respiratory gases. Next one is definition about oxygenation. Oxygen therapy is defined as administration of oxygen by inhalation from a cylinder, firing system, liquid oxygen concentration by various methods to relieve anoxemia. Next, we see about the purpose of oxygenation to facilitate normal metabolism of the tissues, to increase oxygen saturation tissues where the saturation levels are too low due to illness or injury. Next purpose is this process is inadequate oxygen levels in the blood decrease and the patient may need supplemental oxygen. These are the purpose of oxygenation. Next one is physiology of oxygenation. First, we see about the cardiovascular physiology. In this structure, in this cardiac structure and function, myocardial pump is very much important. Next one is myocardial blood flow, and next one is coronary artery circulation and systemic circulation, and last one is bed flow regulation. That means cardiac output, preload, afterload, contractility. These are all comes under the cardiovascular physiology. Next, we see about the respiratory physiology. In respiratory physiology, structure is breathing, inspiration and expiration is very much important in respiratory physiology, and lung volumes and capacity. And next one is pulmonary circulation and respiratory gaseous exchange, oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange is most important, and regulation of respiration. These are the factors. These are the factors in respiratory physiology. Next, we see about the indications for oxygenation. First one is acute respiratory failure. So second indication is acute myocardial infarction. Third indication is cardiac failure and shock. Fourth indication is hypermetabolic state induced by trauma, burns, or sepsis. These are the indications of contraindication. And next one is anemia and cyanide poisoning. And during CPR, anesthesia, these are the indications of oxygenation. First one is acute respiratory failure, acute myocardial infarction, cardiac failure and shock, hypermetabolic state induced by trauma, burns, or sepsis. Next one is anemia, cyanide poisoning, and last indications is during CPR, at the time of CPR. Next one is last anesthesia for surgery. These are the indications of oxygenation. Next, we see about the factors affecting oxygenation. What are the factors means? First factor is physiological factors, developmental factors, lifestyle factors, and environmental factors. In physiological factors, conditions affecting bronchopulmonary functioning. That means mainly affect the pulmonary system. Next, alteration in cardiac function, conduction disturbances that altered cardiac output or impaired cardiac output, decreased or increased. These are all comes under the physiological factors. Next one is alteration in respiratory function, hyperventilation, hypoventilation, arrhythmia. These are all comes under the physiological factors. Next factor is developmental factors. In this developmental factors, the developmental stage of child and normal aging process can affect tissue organ oxygenation. Comes under the infants and toddlers. Upper respiratory tract infection is very common, and nasal congestion is also very common for infant and toddlers. Age group. Next, school age children and adolescents are comes under the respiratory infections, and cigarette smoking also occurs. Next, factors affecting one is younger and middle adult. What are all they means? Unhealthy diet, lack of exercise, stress, illegal drugs, smoking, etc. These are the factors affected by the developmental factors. Next factor is lifestyle risk factor. In this lifestyle risk factors, first one is improper nutrition. Improper nutrition, exercise, smoking, substance abuse, stress. These are all comes under the lifestyle risk factors. Next one is environmental factors. In this environmental factors, first factor is pulmonary disease. That means high smoky area. In high smoky area, high pollutant area. These are all comes under the environmental factors. Occupational pollutants, for example, asbestosis, basilosis, these are all comes under the environmental factors. Next factor is warm factor. In farmers who are working as a farmer, means these are happens in the environmental factors. These are factors affected by the oxygenation. What are the factors means? First one is physiological factors, second one is developmental factors, third factor is lifestyle factors, and last one is environmental factors. In physiological factors, physiological functions are altered. That means cardiovascular functioning, respiratory functioning, these are altered. Developmental factors means age group of infant to adulthood process till adulthood process, the affecting means oxygenation is altered. Next factor is lifestyle factors, and fourth factor is environmental factors. Next, we see about the alteration in oxygenation. What are all the alterations in oxygen? First one is apnea. Apnea is nothing but it is a temporary stoppage of respiration. Normal respiration pattern is temporarily stopping, means that is called as apnea. Next one is hypoxia. Hypoxia is inadequate oxygen supply to the tissues. It may cause due to decreased oxygen and PO2 carrying capacity of blood. Decreased rate of blood flow to the tissues. These are called as hypoxia. Hypoxia is nothing but inadequate oxygen supply to all the tissues. Next one is type of in this hypoxia. There are many types of hypoxia. That first one is atrial hypoxia, hypokinetic hypoxia, anemic hypoxia, histotoxic hypoxia. That one by one we see about the types of hypoxia. In this atrial hypoxia is nothing but it is in arterial hypoxia is the one where PO2 of arterial blood, partial oxygen of arterial blood is less than normal, but oxygen carrying capacity of blood and rate of blood flow are normal. That is arterial hypoxia. It is nothing but partial oxygen of arterial blood is less than normal oxygen. Is less than that means compared to the O2 carrying capacity of blood and rate of blood flow are normal. Next alteration is anemic. Anemic hypoxia is the hypoxia emitting due to decreased oxygen carrying capacity of blood in this PO2 of atrial blood and the rate of flow of blood are normal. These are the alteration in oxygenation. Next hypoxia is stagnant hypoxia. It is due to decreased rate of blood flow to the tissues and partial oxygen of arterial blood and oxygen carrying capacity of blood are normal. It may be generalized or localized. That is means stagnant hypoxia. It is nothing but decreased rate of blood flow to the tissues. That means partial oxygen of arterial blood and oxygen carrying capacity of blood are normal. It may be occurred in generalized area or localized area. That is called as stagnant hypoxia. Next, we see about the histotoxic hypoxia. It is a decreased ability of tissues themselves to utilize oxygen is called a histotoxic. Hypoxia, O2 supply to the tissues is inadequate. It is mainly called as decreased ability of tissues to utilize oxygen is called histotoxic hypoxia, but oxygen supply to the tissues is adequate. This is called as histotoxic hypoxia. These are all the types of hypoxia. First type of hypoxia is atrial hypoxia. Second type is anemic hypoxia. Third type is stagnant hypoxia. And fourth type is histotoxic hypoxia. These are all the alteration in oxygenation. Next, we see about the signs of hypoxia. In the first sign is cyanosis. Cyanosis is a bluish discoloration of skin. Second one is tachycardia, increased heart rate. Third one is tachypnea, increased rate of respiration. And fourth one is hypereal, that is increased depth respiration. These are all the signs of hypoxia. Next alteration is fulminant hypoxia. Is nothing but when a severe hypoxia develops very fast, that means going at high levels above 30,000 feet in unpressurized aeroplanes. That is, and that happened means fulminant hypoxia is happened in the people. It results into the unconscious within 15 to 20 seconds due to lack of O2 supply to the brain. If a sudden unconscious patient goes to unconscious means within 15 to 20 seconds due to lack of O2 supply to the brain. That time brain death may follow in 4 to 5 minutes. That time patients may feel fulminant hypoxia. That is called as fulminant hypoxia. Next hypoxia is acute hypoxia. It is nothing but it may be produced due to exposure of low partial of oxygen. Low partial of oxygen, it causes slowed reflexes, but in muscular in coordination, slurred speech happen. And sudden, sometimes over confinement of me and eventually unconscious. It's lead to death occurring minutes to hours if compensatory mechanism are not adequate. These are all the comes under the acute hypoxia. And next hypoxia is chronic hypoxia, and that is it is due to exposure of partial oxygen for long period, and mainly causes for severe fatigue, dyspnea, shortness of breath. These are all causes for the chronic hypoxia. But lack of oxygen, due to lack of oxygen support to the tissue, person may be sometimes person go for bedridden or limited to sitting may get respiratory arrhythmia. These are all comes under the chronic hypoxia. Last alteration is hypercapnia. It is nothing but it is increased partial carbon dioxide level of body fluids. Hypercapnia means what? It is increased partial carbon dioxide level of body fluids. Next alteration is hyperventilation. It is increased rate and depth of respiration. It is nothing but increased rate and depth of respiration. Next, hyperventilation means it is decreased rate and depth of respiration. Next, asphyxia. It is nothing but it is condition in which there is hypoxia associated with hypercapnia. It is hypoxia associated with hypercapnia. Almost all types of hypoxia are associated with hypercapnia except arterial hypoxia occurring in high altitude. That is main important for asphyxia. Next alteration is acclimatization. It is to change in the body tissue in response to long-term exposure to hypoxia. Hypoxia is nothing but hypoxia means inadequate oxygen supply to all the tissues that may be caused to decrease oxygen and partial oxygen carrying capacity of blood. That hypoxia is change acclimatization is due to change in body tissues in response to long-term exposure of hypoxia, that is called as acclimatization. Next alteration is cyanosis. Cyanosis is nothing but it is bluish discoloration of skin and mucous membrane due to presence of more than 5 gram deoxyhemoglobin in capillary blood. Deoxyhemoglobin in capillary blood. This is called as cyanosis. These are all the alteration in oxygenation. What are all the alteration means? First one is apnea. Apnea is nothing but temporary stoppage of respiration. Second one is hypoxia. In this hypoxia, there is 4 types of hypoxia. First one is atrial. Second one is hypokinetic. Third one is anemia. And last one is histotoxic. In that atrial hypoxia, anemic hypoxia, stagnant hypoxia, and histotoxic hypoxia. Next, we see about the signs of hypoxia. What are the signs means? First one is cyanosis, tachycardia, tachypnea, and hyperreal. Next, we see about the fulminant hypoxia and acute hypoxia. And next, chronic hypoxia, hypercapnia, and hypoventilation, hyperventilation. Next one is asphyxia. At last, we see about the acclimatization and cyanosis. These are all the oxygen alteration in patient's body. Next, we see about the methods of oxygen administration. What are all the methods given oxygen administration to the patient means? First method is nasal cannula. Second method is simple mask. Third one is partial rebreather mask. Third method is non-rebreather mask. Fifth one is Venturi mask. Nasal cannula, which this picture is shown is nasal cannula method of oxygen administration. Next method is oxygen wood. This is called as oxygen food. Oxygen wood is mainly used for babies. Newborn babies are up to 28 days. Newborn babies. The newborn babies is having that the oxygen, having oxygen means provide oxygen through oxygen food. Next type of method is oxygen tent. Next method is ambu bag. Next, tracheostomy collar, and last one is TPs. These are all the methods of oxygen administration to patient. First we see one by one. First we see about the nasal cannula, otherwise called as nasal prongs. This is the nasal cannula. This patient applying nasal prongs. It is prongs and cannulas are same. It is disposable. It is disposable plastic device with the two protruding prongs for inserting into the nostrils. Two protruding. In this picture, we shown no two protruding prongs for insertion into the nostrils. This is nasal cannula. It is used for low medium concentration of oxygen. How much means 24 to 44% of oxygen given to the patient. Amount of delivery means FiO is fraction inspired oxygenation. Low flow means patient flow rate is 24 to 44. 1 liter per minute is 24% of oxygen given to the patient. 2 liters per minute is 28%. 3 liter per minute is 32%. 4 liter per minute is 36%. 5 liters per minute is 40%. At last 6 liter per minute 44% of oxygen delivery to the patient. Next, what are all the nursing interventions for nasal cannula patient means be alert the skin breakdown over the ears and in the nostrils from too tight an application. This is first main nursing intervention for patient. Second one is observe for mucous dryness. At last check frequently that both prongs are in the client nose. Both prongs are present in client nostrils are present or not. So thoroughly check the patient. Next, advantages and disadvantages of nasal cannula. First advantages is client able to talk and eat with the oxygen in place. Second advantage is easily used in home setting and it is safe and simple for patient. Last advantage is easily tolerated and delivers low concentration of oxygen to the patient. Disadvantages is unable to use with the nasal obstruction. If patient having any nasal obstruction means that time we can't use nasal cannula. Next one is drying mucous membrane. So flow greater than 4 liters per minute need to be humidified. Next one can dislodge means gnats easily in the nostrils can dislodge, causes skin irritation of breakdown over ears and nostrils. These are all the disadvantages for nasal cannula. Next, we see about the face mask for oxygen face mask method of oxygen administration. In the face mask method, first method is simple oxygen mask. This is simple oxygen mask. This is partial rebreather mask. This is non-rebreather mask. Last one is Venturi mask. These are all the types of face mask method. In simple fast method, it is made up of clear, flexible plastic or rubber that can be molded to fit the face. Easily fit to face. It is held to the head with a plastic band. It is held in plastic band. Some have a metal clip that can be bent over the bridge of the nose for a comfortable fit. It is delivered 35 to 60% of oxygen with the flow rate of 6 to 10 liters per minute. This is delivering oxygen is only 35 to 60% of oxygen. Compared to nasal prongs is 24 to 48% of oxygen. But simple masks provide oxygen is 35 to 60% of oxygen with the flow rate of 6 to 10 liters per minute. It has vent on sides which allow room air to leak in many places, thereby diluting the source of oxygen. Main nursing intervention is monitor client frequently to check parameters of the mask. If any parameters are increased or decreased means to confirm it and to check the frequency. Next, secure the physician order to replace mask with a nasal cannula during meal time. Sometimes patient taking meals means unable to take in a facial mask. So that time change the nasal prongs to provide oxygen and after finishing meal time to secure facial mask. Advantage is it can provide increased delivery of oxygen for short period of time. In a short period, large amount of oxygen also given to the patient. These are main disadvantages. Tight seal required to deliver higher concentration and difficult to keep mask in position over nose and mouth. Uncomfortable while eating or talking. While wearing face mask and that time eating and talking is very difficult. Potential for skin breakdown. That means pressure and moisture. These are all the advantages and disadvantages of simple oxygen mask. Next method is partial rebreather mask. It is nothing but the mask is with a reservoir bag that must remain inflated during both inspiration and expiration. While inflate the while inspiration and expiration, the mask, the reservoir bag is inflated. It is used to deliver oxygen concentration up to 80% of oxygen delivered to the patient. Oxygen flow rate must be maintained at a minimum of 6 liters per minute to ensure that the patient does not rebreathe large amount of exhaled air. At the same time, the remaining exhaled air exits through the vent. This is the partial rebreather mask. Nursing intervention is that flow rate. So mask remains 2/3 full during respiration. 2/3 full means during inspiration, the mask will remains. Keep reservoir bag tree of Pistar Kings. If keep the bags are check any leakage is present means not used for the patient. Advantages is client can inhale room air through opening in mask if oxygen supply is briefly interrupted. Disadvantages means cure requires tight seal. Eating and talking is very difficult and uncomfortable for patient is all the time. Next method is non-rebreather mask. It is nothing but highest concentration of oxygen given to the patient, that is 95 to 100% at a flow rate is 6 to 5 liters per minute. Per minute, 6 to 5 liters of oxygen given to the patient. It is similar to partial rebreather mask except to one-way valves present conservation of exhaled air. The bag has an oxygen reservoir. When the patient exhales air one way, the valve closes and of all of the expired air is deposited into the atmosphere, not the reservoir bag. The next we see about the maintain flow rate is so reservoir bag collapses only slightly during inspiration. Check the valves and rubber plugs are function properly while open during the expiration. Monitor saturation of oxygen level with the pulse oximeter every 15 minutes. Advantages and disadvantages of non-rebreather mask is main advantages is deliver the highest possible oxygen concentration and suitable for patient breathing spontaneous with severe hypoxemia. Patient having severe hypoxia means mainly suitable for non-rebreather mask. Disadvantages is impractical for long-term therapy. If patient having long-term oxygen therapy means it is not used for non-rebreather mask. Malfunction can cause carbon dioxide buildup. Suffocation may happen. This method is very expensive and it is also uncomfortable for the patient. Next, we see about the Venturi mask. The Venturi mask is nothing but this is the Venturi mask. This is nothing but color coding of tubings. It is high flow oxygen delivery device. It delivers oxygen from 40 to 50% liters flow to 4 to 15 liters per minute. Per minute, 4 to 15 liters per minute oxygen delivered to the patient. Designed with wide bore tubing and various color coded jet adapter. This is various color coded jet adapter. Various color coded jet adapted tubings. Disadvantages is delivers most precious oxygen concentration. Does not dry mucous membrane. Venturi mask does not dry the mucous membrane. Main nursing interventions are requires careful monitoring to verify FiO2 at a flow rate ordered. A physician ordered which FiO2 ordered means that that flow rate is perfectly given to the patient. Check that air intake valves are not blocked. The valves are blocked or not is thoroughly check the patient. Next method is oxygen hood. It is an oxygen hood is used for babies who can breathe on their own but still need extra oxygen. If babies have breathe can won't but baby can need extra oxygen. A hood is a plastic dome or box with a warm moist oxygen inside. In this wood, the oxygen is this wood oxygen is made up of warm moist oxygen inside the wood. This wood is placed over the baby's head. Baby's head oxygen wood is covered with the placed over the head. Next method is oxygen tent. It consists of canopy placed over the head and shoulders or over entire body of patient to provide oxygen at the higher than normal. This is oxygen tent. What is this? This is oxygen tent. This is canopy. placed over the head and shoulders of entire body of patient. Typically, tent is made up of see-through plastic material. This is plastic material covered through the cover the babies. That inside the cover oxygen provide to the patient. Now it can envelop the patient's bed with the end sections held in the place by the mattress to ensure that the tent is all right. Enclosure often has a side opening with zipper. Side opening with zipper. After closing the after entering the oxygen, close the zipper. Next method is AMPU bag. AMPU bag is nothing but it is also called as bag valve mask ventilation. It is AMPU bag. It is handheld device commonly used to provide positive pressure ventilation to the patient who are not breathing adequately. That is, that time if unconscious patient, if any patient goes for a cardiac arrest, that time do CPR means that time use this AMPU bag. These are the AMPU bag parts of the AMPU bag. This is face mask of AMPU bag. This is bag. This is tubings or reservoir connected tubing. This is reservoir bag. This is the parts of AMPU bag. This is tracheostomy collar. Tracheostomy collar or mask. It is nothing but inserted directed into the trachea. Oxygen tubing is directed into the trachea. It is indicated for chronic oxygen therapy needed. Overall chronic oxygen therapy needed means that time tracheostomy collar should be given to the provide to the patient. Oxygen therapy need flow rate is 8 to 10 liters. 8 to 10 liters oxygen provide for through the tracheostomy collar, and it provides good humidity. Tracheostomy collar provides good humidity to the patient, and it also more comfortable and more efficient to the patient. And tracheostomy collar provides accurate FiO2 level for the patient. Next one is T-piece. T-piece nothing but used on end of ET tube when wearing from ventilator. Yeah, this is the T-piece method. If used on end of ET tube when wearing from ventilator, if patient is a prolonged, this is T-piece method. If patient is having a prolonged ventilation means that time, if a patient goes for low saturation, that time we provide suctioning means cut the end, remove the end of the tubing. That time provide the T-piece. Provide accurate FiO2, and it also provides a good humidity to the patient. Good humidity to the patient. Next we what are all the methods we see? We are seen in methods of oxygen administration. Is first method is nasal cannula method. Second method is simple mask method. Third method is partial rebreather method. Next one is for non-rebreather method. Non-rebreather mask. Next one is Venturi mask. And next oxygen hood, oxygen tent, AMPU bag, tracheostomy collar, T-piece. These are all the methods of oxygen administration. In this nasal cannula, this is nasal cannula methods. In this nasal cannula, low concentration of oxygen, that is 24 to 44% of oxygen provided to the patient. In this per minute 1 liter, 24% of oxygen given to the patient. Per minute 2 liters, that is 28% of oxygen. Per minute 3 liter, 32%. Per minute 4 liter, 36% of oxygen. Per minute 5 liters, 40% of oxygen. Overall 44% of oxygen through nasal cannula provide to the patient. Next method is face mask. So face mask deliver 35 to 60% of oxygen with flow rate of 6 to 10 liters per minute. Next one is partial rebreather mask is a minimum of 6 liters provide to the patient. Next non-rebreather mask, that is flow rate is 6 to 5 liters, 5 to 6 liters per minute. 95 to 100% of oxygen delivered to the patient. Next method is Venturi mask. It is nothing but it is high flow oxygen delivery device. It deliver oxygen from 40 to 50%. Flow liters is 4 to 15 liters per minute. Next method is oxygen hood and oxygen tent and AMPU bag. AMPU bag is provide for positive pressure ventilation to the patient who are not breathing or not breathing adequately. That time used for AMPU bag. And that time used for AMPU bag method. Next method is tracheostomy collar method. It is oxygen therapy need flow rate 8 to 10 liters per minute. and it also more comfortable and more efficient for the patient. Next, last method is TPZ. It is nothing but end of the ETT to connect the tubings ventilator for the patient, and it also provides good humidity. Last we see about the complications of oxygen therapy. What are all the complications? First, the complication is oxygen toxicity. Second complication is rentrolental fibroplasia. Third complication is absorption of atelectasis. Atelectasis means lung collapse. These are all the complications of oxygen therapy. These are all the book I refer for this references. Next, I summarize my topic. First, we see about the introduction of oxygenation. Next, we see about the definition of oxygenation, and next purpose and structure and function. What are all the functions, systems affected by the oxygen? First system is cardiovascular system. Next one is respiratory physiology. Third, indications of oxygenation and what factors affecting oxygenation in these factors: physiological factors, developmental factors, lifestyle factors, and last one is environmental factors. These are the factors affecting oxygenation. And next we see about the alteration in oxygen. What are all the alteration means? First, apnea, hypoxia, and pulmonary hypoxia, acute hypoxia, chronic hypoxia, hyperventilation, asphyxia, cyanosis. These are all the alteration of oxygenation. At last, we see about the main content of method of oxygen administration. That is nothing but 10 methods of oxygen administration. First one is nasal cannula, simple mask, partial rebreather mask, non-rebreather mask, Venturi mask, oxygen hood, oxygen tent, ampoule bag, TPS, tracheostomy. These are the methods of oxygen administration. At last, we see about the complications of oxygen administration. Now, what are all the complications means? Oxygen toxicity, rentolental fibroplasia, absorption, atelectasis. These are all the complications of oxygen administration. These are all the books I refer for content.